Hi, friends. Welcome to Tiny Tuesday, or kind of not so Tiny Tuesday today. We are going to be building in the world of Del Sol Valley, and this is on that really big, huge lot in Del Sol Valley where you have the three driveways. I cannot read from my particular point of view exactly what the actual lot name is here. So I'm not even going to try. But basically, I always thought this lot really kind of needed something a little bigger. And it dawned on me that with three driveways, they probably meant for this to actually end up as like a duplex sort of place. And that got me thinking about, and I've talked about this previously, the house that my mom moved into when she first got out of a really bad marriage. And when she came back home to Georgia, she found a lovely little yellow house. And yes, this is completely inspired by that. Although there are certain things that I kind of added into the build, but I didn't want to, oh, how do you say it? I didn't want to recreate it specifically based on that. And I also wanted to make sure there was enough room for everything and it was a little more realistic because homes like this, I know most people think of the United States, you think of these big, huge homes where, multiple bedrooms and a big living room and a formal room and big fancy kitchens with, huge eat-in breakfast areas and formal dining rooms. And most people don't live like that. A lot of people live just very much like this in The Sims. So when I took a look at this house, I realized how much people of different areas and how we all live. It just all varies. So what we're doing here is I went ahead and I kind of flubbed in some terrain paint. I'm still not happy with the terrain paint, and I may mess with it a little bit more before I finally upload this video. But for right now, I have essentially 4 units, and yes, this will be really perfect for when we get to the Sims 4 for rent, which should be coming out in about a few weeks at this point. I think it was supposed to be December 7th, I want to say. And I'm actually recording this on the 19th of November, so we've got a few weeks left before that comes out, and this should be one based off of some of the videos that I've watched so far. It should be pretty easy to open these up for an actual build and to be able to use these as rental properties. I have no concept right now of how much these things cost. But what I did do is anything that would be in a home prior to you actually moving in, such as your bathroom, your kitchen, these things, they're already in the units. And I didn't spend a lot of time, nor did I get real precious about my colors or anything on these builds. I really just wanted these to be kept as simple as possible. And in all honesty, my mom really did live in a house just like this. And this little back room here, it is very, very close to about what my sister had as a individual bedroom. She had a little teeny tiny chest of drawers and a bed back there, and it was her bedroom for the longest time. And that house was so precious. And there was so many lovely memories from that place. I just really appreciated that home, and I know that my mom did as well. And so as we get started here, I really only focus in on building one house. The rest of them are exactly the same. They're not finished out. There's no furniture in them. So that's something that you can add in. So there's one house or one apartment that you can actually live in. And then the rest of it is stuff you can come in and do to your own taste. You can change whatever you want. That's the great thing about The Sims here. So I just wanted to verify that I had enough room for a dining room table in this space, and I do end up keeping that table. It fits in there really nicely, and I wanted to make sure that all the flooring kind of matched up with kind of the wallpaper that I had in each of the rooms, and I kept the flooring very simple. These little mill houses all basically have the same kind of stuff in them. That's usually a linoleum in the kitchen and bath areas, and some form of wood flooring throughout the rest. Although some may have carpeting that's been added, most of them generally are stripped down to their actual floorboards, so that you can have, like in this particular instance, a little laundry room. So here I'm adding just the washing machine. There are clotheslines out back, so you have the ability to hang your clothes up to dry. So if you don't want to use laundry, you certainly don't have to, or if you don't have this particular pack, that's okay too. What you can do is just either A, not play in this particular lot, or in this particular apartment, use this one as a rental and fill up one of the other spaces with whatever you want. But I did want this to have a definite laundry feel to it. There's nothing really spectacular overall about this particular unit or this particular space, but I did want it to feel kind of warm and cozy and rather girly. Because when my mom came back, that was one of her things that she was very adamant about, is that she wanted something that was so feminine that any man who ever thought about entering the house would give a second thought to. And I also wanted to add in some cats and dogs stuff. So if you want, you can easily add a kitty cat into your family here. And these are simple little one-bedroom apartments. There's no big fancy hallways or anything like that. It's literally meant for a sim, maybe two, and a potential for a third if you want to like kind of squeeze everybody in until you have enough money through maybe your rental properties. That gives you the ability to, buy a bigger house, or actually buy a house and play the new way. So we're just sort of wrapping up here on the kitchen. Again, these are pretty basic sort of things that we're doing here. A standard kitchen with a nice little eat-in area. And I kept everything really nice and bright here. And I do change that little kitty stand. I like to put those near a window. I just always think of cats. My personal kitty loves to go lay in the window behind the television set, of all places. But if we had one of these little nice stands, I am pretty sure he would probably be laying in there as long as the sun was shining. And we do flip around. I added a little bit of, even though that says dog food, I'm pretending that it's cat food. And of course, we're just going to add in some other little doodads here. And, I don't know that I've ever told y'all about, what a mill house is. These are little homes, usually a large company such as a mill, like a flour mill. Maybe that's what they produce, or some form of grain. They have standard people who work for them, and they would basically live pretty much on the property, and they would have a whole little community that would be built up around that particular area. So everything was there. The people didn't have to go anywhere outside of basically the company in order to have anything. And so these homes generally started off as actual houses. So this would have been a effectively, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe bedroom home, or not bedrooms, but 7-room houses, including, you know, a bedroom, a couple of bedrooms, a living room, maybe a dining room, depending on how the family wanted to lay out their particular home. So they had, you know, they had little bits. And these bathrooms that you see that are added on, as well as the back porches, most of those were added on after the homes were built because they would have had an outhouse someplace. Just a little place, little building out back where you would have gone to in the middle of the night to do what you need to do outside. And so that's basically what a mill house is, and that's why they're so tiny. And that's one of the reasons why it makes it so good for these to kind of come into this sort of environment. You know, they're fun. What can I tell you? And they are beautiful. We are now moving on to the living room. I kind of talked over the bedroom there, but there's a lovely desk that I put in, and those are actually called secretaries. And my mom actually had one of those, and my sister has it now, so it is still in the family. It has been in the family. We had a lot of her furniture that was from late 1800s, early 1900s. So we've been able to hold on to them. You'll also notice that fireplace has like this metal fireplace in there. And that's done on purpose because that is the wooden fireplace had been taken out in most of these homes. So they're not really working fireplaces. But they would have either an oil stove added in or some kind of a gas stove added in. Mom's had a gas stove. So, which made it, you know, nice and warm and cozy. They were not air conditioned. And here in the South, you would have had really tall walls so that the heat would rise, and the inside, although it's still hot inside, you would have a little bit of a breeze going when you opened your windows. And during the winter months, you would turn on that heater and everything would feel so much better. And my mom was really into palmistry and reading palms and tarot cards and all that kind of craziness. So I had to put that hand in. I almost put up a picture of Guidry. I decided not to. I just didn't want to. And the outside here, I also decorate with a lot of plants. I wanted there to be tons and tons of flowers and prettiness, just to fill the space. And I kind of bounce back and forth between the back and the front because I'd find something and think of other things. And this was one of the final things that I had thought about was, you know, making a little seating area up here. I wish we had swinging front porches. We do not, unfortunately, so I can't add that in, but I can put in a pretty bench. And I just need to get some things out of the way there. But yeah, just making it all nice and cozy. The other side would be up to the other person, whoever rents that, to do their own decorating. The general landscaping on this is very southern in nature. You will find a lot of the hydrangea bushes, and you would also find azaleas down here quite prevalently. So that makes it, you know, very comforting, very homey to me. All right, so we're going to head into the build here. And we do have somebody who is visiting us. And like I said before, we are only decorating one apartment. So you'll notice all these pretty flowers are all hanging around out here. Somebody clearly loves to do a lot of planting, enjoys having the greenery around. And then we're going to go into the build. And as we come in, we got welcome wagon coming. We're going to say goodbye to the welcome wagon. Y'all go away. Maybe next time. So as we come into our little apartment here, ooh, too many walls, we have our nice little fireplace. And a lot of these little mill houses actually have a fireplace that looks sort of like this. It's more of an oil burning or gas fireplace. So you wouldn't really have wood there, but you would turn it on, you would light it with the little lighter, and poof, you've got this wonderful warm weather warm heat source in your home. And you might have multiples of these. I only put one in each of the apartments, and I still gave us a thermometer temperature gauge thing over here, mainly because in Sims we do have the ability to turn that stuff on and off, and we don't have to have any actual units. But we do have a nice bookcase, some nice furnishings and everything in here, and a very comfy rocking chair and all. We also have a door, and through this door we don't have a hallway, but what we do have is our bedroom. And all these apartments are basically meant to be 1-bedroom apartments. They are converted mill house type apartments, so they're going to be a little bit different than what a lot of people probably are expecting. And you do have a little bit of some sleeping space, a little study space, and you do have some storage over there, and you have some storage over here. And we got some nice pictures up on the walls. We also have a very large kitchen here, and in our very large kitchen we've got a nice window, we've got nice counter space, lots of room to do all of our cooking. We do have ample space here for our kitchen table, a little bit of artwork, and there are 2 doors here. This door just simply goes into the bathroom. I'm not going to bother taking you in there. It's just a standard bathroom. There is a little storage bin in there, and there is a laundry hamper in there because we do have out here a nice little laundry space. So we've got some storage here. We've got a nice, if you want to play with dust, we've got the vacuum here for you. We also have this nice little area here. We have fire protection throughout the whole unit. This one is not the laser kitty light litter box, but if you want that one, you can easily pop that one in here. This one you do have to actually empty out, and then it just simply goes out onto the back deck here. And on the back deck, because this is a sim who really does enjoy their flowers, we do have a little bit of a back deck with a little more flower space. There was only a washing machine in our laundry space, so because of that we needed to add a drying rack out here, and we also have some other little decorations, some gardening, and I went ahead and gave us a table. Not all of these chairs are actually hooked up to this table, but if that's what you want, you can easily pull those too. But yeah, that is the basic layout of this particular house. So with that is our speed-ish build. So I hope you enjoy this. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye, friends.